Scott Flint. I'm the Senior Chief Instructor at Westwind Schools, and today I want to help out people with learning KATA 4. In Kempo, this is often called form long 2, and in our system we call it KATA 4. It's the fourth form that we learn. In this kata we start to introduce a little bit more self-defense techniques. It's a pattern dealing with many different angles and practicing our basics, but also involves a little bit of work with techniques. And this comes from back to our original founder, Ed Parker. And if you look at the videos of Ed Parker doing KATA 4, similar, but over the years it's changed a little bit. So I want to give you the most recent version. This is the one you need to show on your blue belt test and other tests above. The pattern of the form is kind of interesting. So you guys can see this. So looks like, just to help you learn, looks like the parts of a clock here at the top. You have 12 o'clock, and then there's no 6 o'clock in this kata. There's nothing that goes behind you, but there are things off to the side. We have over at 3 o'clock and 9 o'clock, and then we also have diagonals, which is a little tricky in this kata. We didn't have that in KATA 2, a little bit in KATA 3. So we're going to use this to help us to learn the pattern. The first direction we go is toward 12 o'clock, which is toward the front. If we look here, that would be toward that fence. I'm going to turn my back towards you so you can see what the kata would look like if you were following somebody in front of you. And that might help. If I face you and go through the kata, it's a little confusing because it's like a mirror. So I'll turn around and go through it the same way you would go through it. Just do it slowly with me, and we can get these steps down. So this could be a good review for those of you who already know it, but we could also use it today to actually learn the form. Interesting thing also in KATA 4 is that when you are finished with a technique, like if you did a block in KATA 1 and KATA 2, the other hand is always way back in the set position. In KATA 4, sometimes it's going to be in a Chinese guard, and then other times it will go back into a set position. Just depends on where you are in the form. So a little confusing because it is introducing a new idea. Instead of this, which is giving you a nice push-pull, the guard is actually more effective in a fight because it's something that can move, you can strike with it, and it can protect you. So new ideas makes it a little trickier, and then doing these diagonals is probably the hardest part of KATA 4. So the first technique, as a guy's throwing a punch at you, you're going to do a right inward block. You're going to use your other hand in an open hand guard, and then pull his arm down towards your hip with sticky hand technique, opening up his neck, and come in downward angle chop into the jugular vein carotid artery complex. So it's inward block and then chop. I do the mirror image, your right arm, I'm using my left, inward block, chop, and then from there we're going to fire a heel of hand with our right hand. The other hand comes back to a Chinese guard near your solar plexus. The heel of hand comes in trying to use this part of the hand to strike right here in the upper sternum, trying to collapse the sternum, knock the guy back, maybe collapse that in on the heart and lungs. And then the arm comes down to serve as a guard, as a low guard. So it's heel of hand, low guard, and then as it gets to the lowest point, the other hand fires a spear hand, solar plex level. So when we look at this on a belt test, we like to see inward block just below the eyes, chop to your neck level, heel of hand, your sternum level, and then spear hand. Let me do that now. I'm going to face the other way. And do it with me slowly. We're going to do the right side of it, and then we'll do the left side of it. This is a pretty fun kata because it is symmetrical. What you do on one side, you do on the other side. Makes it a little bit easier to learn. So let's start off now. I'll face the same way you guys are facing. So we're in a horse stance, weapon in sheath. We're stepping with the right foot, inward block, chop, heel of hand, spear hand. Then step in with your left foot and fire inward block, chop, heel of hand, spear hand. So that's going toward 12 o'clock. It's going toward the front. And just two things. It's inward block, chop, heel of hand, spear hand, and then the other side, inward block, chop, heel of hand, spear hand. And then we're going to fight off to the side. If you think back on your kata 1, it's pretty much the same pattern. Kata 1, you step back, you do a right inward block, left inward block, and then you fight off to your left. You switch and fight off to your left. We're going to do the same thing in kata 4. When we fight the guy on the side, we're going to have our hands first back on our hip. We call hidden hand, like a set position. The other hand's on top of it. We're going to then turn to engage this guy with a punch. We're going to stay in a horse stance. We're going to punch the guy full power. We showed in the kata, it'll just be about shoulder level. But in a fight, we're going for the face, probably the nose. So we're going punch to the head. The other hand is doing an outward block. The idea of the outward block would be if somebody grabbed your shoulder, you can knock free of that, and then the other hand comes in and strikes them. Could also be thought of as maybe you just want to punch them, but you think there may be something coming towards you. So that's what we call clearing, right? We're going to clear a path and then strike. So be fighting off to the side. Again, the pattern will be right foot steps in, strike, heel of hand, spear hand, left side, strike, heel of hand, spear hand. And you're going to go to your left side. If we look at that big clock, we were going toward 12 o'clock. Now we're going to go off to this side, our left, which is going to be 9 o'clock. We look at this pattern. We were going that way first, right? 12 o'clock. Now we're going to go left, 9 o'clock. So let's show how that works. So again, I'll just go where you're going to go, the same direction. We start off horse, step in, block, chop, heel of hand, spear hand, block, chop, heel of hand, spear hand. Then your hands come back to hidden hand as your left foot steps out to 9 o'clock. So your left foot steps, your body's going to be facing toward 3 o'clock, towards your right. Your hands are back. Then you pivot into a horse. As you get to the horse, you do a left outward block and a right punch. Then you're going to fire a left punch to the head, then a right punch to the head, and then back into a cat stance set position. You're going to fire a left side fist to the head, and then also a left snap kick to about solar plex level. So that's a little technique there. Guy grabs your shoulder, you knock his arm off of you, punch him in the head, fire another punch to the head. This one comes back to a set. This punch is unusual. It's just a quick jab, just a quick rotation, smacks him in the face. Wouldn't cause a lot of damage, but then you fire a powerful twisting karate punch to the head. So it's outward block punch, right punch, left punch, and then you come back to a cat. Both hands are back in the set. So you hit him in the head 3 times, right? You got one punch there, quick jab, and another punch, come back to a cat, and then from the cat you're going to fire a side fist to his head, and also you're going to fire a snap kick about solar plex level. That's head level and then solar plex level same time. When you practice it and when you show it on your test, if you hold that kick out fire it out fast, but then hold it for about a second, that'd be great. It shows a lot of body control and really tight crane, good foot position, and try to get your gi to snap. It's showing that you have a lot of power where you could really do some damage. So that's the second angle in kata 4. You went toward 12 o'clock, then toward 9 o'clock. Next, you're going to do that same technique we just learned, but toward 3 o'clock. You're going to do the opposite direction. So far, so good. So we're going toward the front, block, chop, heel of hand, spear hand, block, chop, heel of hand, spear hand. And we're going to go toward 9 o'clock to our left, outward block, punch, punch, cat, kick, side fist. Then the hands come back to a hidden hand. We do the same technique on the other side, outward block, punch, 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 come back, cat stance, kick, side fist. And once you're done with that, you go into a front horse facing the front. And then we start to do the little trickier part where you're going to go off at angles toward diagonals. So let's do it from the beginning. We have a horse stance, step in, block, chop, heel of hand, spear hand, block, chop, heel of hand, spear hand. Hands come back to your side, rotate into a horse stance, then fire the outward block punch, 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 cat stance. You're going to fire a side fist and a snap kick same time. Then from here, we're going to go to your side, land, same on this side, outward block punch, then a quick jab punch to the head, another punch, come back to the cat stance. We're going to fire a side fist with your right, and with your right foot, snap kick, and then back to a horse, facing the front. That's kind of the first part of Kata 4, going toward the front. Then you go to your left, go to your right, and then back to the middle. And we're going to do diagonals. Remember, weird part about Kata 4, you don't go toward the back. You never go toward 6 o'clock. You're always going at angles from this point forward. All right, so that'll be enough for today. And then next video, we'll cover those angular techniques.